V. I am back. Hope everyone's enjoying their weekend. This is the time that it is every week. Golden Vendor Weekend Week. Yes. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Don't forget that the vendor ends Monday mid morning. So let's take a look. Hopefully, we have some goodies that we can buy with some nice AP or gold. So, here, first off, we have Amulet of Frostbite. Alright, so let's take a look at Amulet of Frostbite. That comes from the DLC requirement Blackwood Overland. So that one is not buying, which means you can buy it and also sell it to your friends. So the fifth item increases your damage done with frost abilities by 8%. Increase your damage done against chill enemies by 4%. Increase your damage done against enemies afflicted with minor brittle by 2%. Is it worth getting? Well, you can farm it easy in the overland. However, it is worth getting. It has brittle. I can see it being used a lot in PvP. Also in PvE, I mean, there are sets that are a little bit better, especially for trial and game range. However, it's a nice set. I can see it. The first thing I think of is especially Warden support, but I can definitely say it's worth buying, especially if you have the AP and you don't want to waste gold mats. Gold mats are really expensive and pricey. If you can't get it in the overland or find it cheaper, I would say definitely waste some AP on this one. The next is Gloomgray's Necklace. Gloomgray's Necklace comes from the Somerset DLC Overland, which means you can also buy it and sell it to your friend as long as you don't equip it. Let's see what it does. When you take damage, you become a living shadow for 10 seconds, causing you to heal for 2228 every 2 seconds, gaining major evasing, reducing damage from area of attacks by 20%. This effect can occur every 20 seconds and scales off your max health. Alright, so it's a beat Nietzsche. It's an overland set. Sounds more for PvP more than PvE. Problem is it's all over the place. The cooldown is way too long, 20 seconds. I can see it being used, but like I said, in this case it'll be pretty niche. I would say save your AP because it is overland. You can probably try it out maybe in purple or blue. And then if you like it, gold it out. But it's niche at best. Then we have Lamia necklace. That comes from the basic dungeon of Arcanium. Let's take a look at this set. This is actually a favorite set. I will call it one of the underrated sets in the game, but let's see what the 5P does. When you use an ultimate ability, you and your group members within 20 meters of you heal for 31 health and restore 25 magicka and stamina per ultimate spent. Is it worth getting? Yes, I will say absolutely. Even though you can farm it pretty easily in Ars Curriculum Dungeon, it is worth golding out. I'm gonna tell you why. This is a really underrated but good, and like I say great, but good support set, and it's easy to get. You can put it on your healer, you can put it in a tank, and you could give the group, members of your group, or even yourself, a ton of resources where you won't be lacking. However, why is it so underrated? Well, people don't really know the calculations. If you calculate how much it heals and the resources it gives you, it's pretty decent to at least keep you alive. Second thing too, it's great for trials. It's good for trials, especially when you want to use resources. However, like I said again before, many people are more diehard meta where they just want pure damage nowadays. But I can say, hey, if you don't have resources, sometimes you're gonna die. So for support, I would say it's definitely really good. Would I waste AP? Absolutely. I have used it before and I'm quite impressed. It actually does really well. Next is Necklace of Maceton. Now this, you can pretty much tell, comes from the Maceton DLC dungeon. Let's see what the 5P does. When you take damage while under 30% health, you heal for 13,101 health and restore 10,481 magicka and stamina. This effect can occur once every 45 seconds. Looking at all the pieces, obviously you can tell it's probably some type of resource set for a support role like a tank or healer. My problem with this set is the 45-second cooldown. With that being said, I would just keep it in the coffin. I think there's just much better sets. The cooldown is way too long. However, if you have extra IP and you want to take a chance and keep it in your coffin, I guess sure, why not? Because it is from Mastodon, a DLC harder to pug. But If Satan is not a problem for you to get, then I would say save your AP, because at far is niche, the cooldown is way too long. Maybe if the cooldown was much lesser, I will definitely say get it. Now finally we go to shoulders. Keep in mind, shoulders are buying on pickup. That means you can't exchange it or sell it to anyone. Second thing too, keep in mind, head, when you do a vet dungeon, you can collect the heads, different sizes. Shoulders, even though you clear the dungeon, you have to, when you do your everyday pledges, you get keys. Those keys are used as a lottery to try to go to one of the merchants that give that shoulder, and there's like a 50-50 chance if you use the 50-50 options, or a chance, small percent chance that you'll get the right shoulder. A lot of times you might not get the shoulder you want, so you might get the Lambert's light, but maybe you need the Lambert's medium. So to just secure, if you have the AP, I always say for most for most shoulders, it's worth buying in the golden vendor. So let's take a look at Lambert's shoulders. Is it worth getting? Let's take a look. When you deal flame or shock damage, you have a 33% chance to summon a meteor that deals 521 flame damage and 521 shock damage to all enemies within 4 meters every 1 second for 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. Okay, so it's an 8-second cooldown between 5. I would say it's about a 3-second. Not a bad cooldown at all. So first we'll take a look. When you deal flame or shock damage, so that easily tells you that any class that you, such as for example Sorks, you shock damage, DKs you flame damage. So you already know if you're a DK or a Sork, this set might help you. It has a 33% chance. I'm not big on chance percentages, but 33 is not too bad. It procs pretty decently. The stats 521, 521. Maybe if you enhance it with other sets, maybe a little bit bigger. But as of right now, these stats are a little low on the low side. I would say at best it's not bad nor great. It's okay. If you don't have the shoulder, should you waste AP? Because it is shoulders, I would say get it if you don't have it already. But if you do, then save your AP, or if you have a ton of keys. But I would say yes for it. How good is the set? I would say okay. You can give it on an extra tune, or if you don't have no monster head and shoulders, you can put it simply on. Remember, monster pieces are pretty niche as well. You know, they're optional. People sometimes mix and match or only put one piece. Then the next thing, finally, we have Valcom Scoria. Alright, and Valcom Scoria comes from City of Ash 2 Vet Dungeon. Keep in mind it's shoulders, so you won't get it if you clear it. You need keys. With that being said, you can probably get the better size you need off the golden vendor, but let's take a look what it does. Well, first, the first piece, 1435 offensive penetration. Ooh, that's pretty good. Just the one piece alone is already nice. When you deal damage with a damage over time effect, you have a 8% chance to summon a meteor that deals 5379 flame damage to targets and 1697 flame damage to all other enemies within 5 meters. The effect can occur once every 5 seconds. Okay, so the cooldown's not bad. The cooldown's pretty instant because it lasts for 5 seconds. The problem that I have with this set is the 8% chance. It's pretty low. So for example, I would say a class that you have damage over time effects. For example, with my Nightblade, and I'm just giving an example, the Nightblade class, a lot of his single target effects, so that 8% chance barely procs for me. And it's already 8% chance. But if you have a class that does that a lot, you do a lot of damage over time, I would say it'll be at best a okay set. But the cool thing is that first piece, you can probably use it, especially for PvP, PvE, the offensive penetration. It's an okay set. The stats are not as high, but would I say get it? I would say yes, definitely. It is shoulder. If you don't have it, definitely get it. It's okay at best. I mean, you're probably gonna, if you get it, you're probably definitely getting it for the first piece. Second piece is optional. Alright, with that being said, keep in mind guys, don't forget to subscribe. I almost forgot we're doing a promotion. So right now, the 100th subscriber will get a $25 gift card. Let me correct that. You have a good chance. We're going to go up to 100 subscribers, and we're going to have a good chance that someone may win a $25 gift card sent to your home. So try to be the lucky drawer. Please subscribe. You never know. From here to now, it's random. It can go to anyone. we'll put your name out in the raffle and see what happens. All right, stay tuned until next time, as we're going to continue to do more content and help people out, especially people who need help with different scenarios, different situations, and vice versa. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Oh yeah.